Joining us now to discuss all of the fallout from Prince Andrew's legal woes is ABC News royal contributor Victoria Murphy. Victoria, thanks so much for joining us. Let's get right to it. Of course, to state a bit of the obvious, this, of course, is not a good time for the royal family, and they are moving swiftly to distance the monarchy from the scandal surrounding Andrew. Some strong action announced by Buckingham Palace, as you know, today. Andrew's military titles have been returned to the Queen, and he still will not be taking any public duties. Explain all that Andrew is giving up and how unprecedented a move like this is by the palace.
Hi there, Lindsay. Well, yes, you know, we are very much in repeatedly unprecedented territory with Prince Andrew in this case against him. This was a very significant announcement from the palace today, I think, because it made it very clear for the first time that they see no way back for Prince Andrew to public life. They've removed pretty much everything that they can from him, put that last bit of distance between him and the monarchy. This goes further than when he stepped back in 2019, because then he retained his military roles. He wasn't appearing publicly for the military, but he still retained the roles. But that's becoming increasingly controversial. We had a petition signed by veterans. We had members of the military speaking up. So it's not surprising that the royal family felt that they needed to address that. He's also not going to be using his HRH title, his Royal Highness title. He won't be able to style himself in that way. We understand that multiple members of the royal family have been involved in this decision. Names haven't been provided, but we can, of course, presume that Prince Charles, Prince William, future kings, and it very much suggests that the family is very much united in how they see this. You know, I think it sends a message that whatever happens with this case moving forward, because of course it has to still play out legally, but they feel that these allegations have already been so damaging that they wanted to make this statement and wanted to publicly further disassociate themselves from Prince Andrew.
And let's talk a little bit more about the seriousness of Andrew's situation at this point. A judge rejected his request to have the lawsuit brought against him by Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre dismissed. Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell was just convicted of trafficking and abuse of underage girls. How damaging is all of this for Andrew, and has there been any reaction at all from him?
Well, it's been hugely damaging for him and the monarchy by association. And the legal case is, of course, very far from resolved. But in the background of all of this, we've constantly had the court of public opinion. And it was public opinion that led to him stepping back in 2019 following that disastrous TV interview that he gave about Jeffrey Epstein. He spoke a lot then. He, of course, denied, as we know, Virginia Giuffre's allegations, says he has no recollection of meeting her. But since then, he hasn't really said anything publicly. He's left it to his lawyers to make their comments in court documents and in court, and he hasn't said very much publicly. But actually today, when Buckingham Palace announced their decision, a source close to Prince Andrew did say a few words. They said, given the robustness with which Judge Kaplan greeted our arguments, we are unsurprised by the ruling. However, it was not a judgment on the merits of Ms. Giuffre's allegations. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and the Duke will continue to defend himself against these claims. So that statement, they're making it very clear that he will be challenging these allegations. Some have suggested that he may want to settle. That would obviously depend on both sides agreeing a settlement, but there's very much a lot still to play out here.
And quickly going back to that statement for a moment, it said that Andrew will deal with his case as a private citizen. What does that mean for Prince Andrew's future as a royal moving forward?
Well, I think, you know, it's very clear that he's been totally erased from the public face of the monarchy, and this statement absolutely emphasises that, saying outright that he will be fighting this case as a private citizen. But, you know, what I've always said is that they cannot remove him from the family, and fundamentally he is still the Queen's son. So this will absolutely continue to play out as a royal story. But I think moving forward into this year, you know, we've got the Platinum Jubilee. This is the time when the royal family is supposed to be in the spotlight celebrating, and I think it's completely clear that we won't see Prince Andrew anywhere near those celebrations. And I'm sure the royal family is very much hoping that by not having him present, not having him visible, that he won't be part of the narrative. But of course, that isn't guaranteed, because depending what happens with this case, there's certainly potentially going to be a lot still to talk about.
For sure. ABC News royal contributor Victoria Murphy, we thank you so much for your insight as always.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.